Slavin, Chubby Pickle. Oh, what's up, people? It's happy hour. Are you happy? Because it's totally local podcast. Monmouth and Ocean County's only podcast that's this wonderful to go out and do a podcast live. Is that you? Distracted me. Colorful characters, interesting businesses all around in and up the Jersey Shore area. You know what I'm saying. We're at the Chubby Pickle today, folks, with Adam Slavin. Hello, Adam. How's it going? Hello, Aaron.
Hey, what's up?
He's doing some.
Watch party going.
Oh, I thought you were getting some business going.
You know.
So here we are at the Chubby Pickle in Highlands, my hometown. Oh man, driving down Bay Ave took me back. Took me back to simpler times. Bicycles, no helmet. You know, candy at Katz's, picking up comic books, going to the hardware store. I don't know what for. Anyway, sorry, I got lost in the.
You need a moment.
I need a little second here. Ming from a Shared Universe podcast studio helping us out. Thank you, Ming.
Ming, your beer is over on this side.
Your beer's
of the camera.
getting cold.
Hold on, I'll deliver.
That's fine. So, Adam, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
It's going good.
Yep.
Man, how's life down at the Chubby Pickle?
We're making it day by day. It's
Good.
Interesting every day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You sort of you don't plan too far ahead. You are just hoping each day you can. I wouldn't say survive, but almost survive.
I hear you. Well, you've been
Just drink more.
Drink more. You'll feel fine. Happy hour was a brilliant idea. Who came up with happy hour?
I think it was Ming actually.
Ming, was that your idea?
It might have been me.
All
I
right,
think we were at the windmill.
And
Mark from the Long Branch Distillery popped over with some spiced pineapple martinis.
Oh my god!
And then we're like, hey, why don't we do a happy hour edition? And
Why didn't he show up with the spiced pineapple martinis?
We
you
should
don't
call him.
have a guy that can make them back there?
Well, I don't know if I have spiced pineapple.
What's the specialty drink of the Chubby Pickle? There should be like the Chubby Pickle.
Well, I guess for most of the people, they do a shot pickleback Jameson with pickle juice. That seems to have grown popular.
Okay.
But as far as we've been doing a lot of frozen drinks, things like that. Nothing out of the ordinary.
It's a little aggressive of a
Yeah,
very aggressive.
Yeah, it's probably not something you want to promote. Yeah, not a 4 o'clock drink.
Sounds about right though for Highlands. I like that.
Exactly. You got another town you're in.
First things first. As far as thinking about the name of the business, where did you get the name, the Chubby Pickle?
Yeah. Well, I wish I could tell you some great story that's going to come out, but it's not. I think part of when we were deciding to buy a bar, and it was
You're good.
It was one of those things where it was a time in my life where I do have a partner. He's not here today, Craig. But it was a time in my life where things had changed. My sister passed away, and I was just at that point where I wanted to do what I wanted to do when I was 21, own a bar. So I was like, oh, well, you know what? I'm tired of maybe corporate America, and I want to try something different. So when we decided to go down this journey, the last thing we wanted was to have a bar name that people were just going to be like, oh, there's another fill in the blank, generic name for a bar.
It's memorable.
So let's get really drunk and
throw out some names.
And throw out some names.
So then we did, and then this came up, and we were like, okay, maybe it's going to have a little shock value. I don't know how it's going to be received, but they won't forget it.
Yeah.
So at that point, that was good enough to me. Whether you like it or not is not the point. It's whether you're going to remember.
Who came up with the actual?
My wife did.
Epic shouts.
Yeah.
Was this
right.
before
Adam's
kids
wife.
or?
Well before kids.
Now you have to explain.
We drank more than that.
You have to explain to your kids. Where
By then we'll
works.
just change the name.
So are you from the area? Are you from New Jersey? Or you?
No, so I'm from Miami, Florida, Miami Beach, and then I moved here from LA. I moved to Hoboken. Met Craig some years back, about 15 years ago. Sort of threw the idea out there then, after a couple of years. And then it's pretty hard to getting a bar in New Jersey is not like getting a bar in other states. You don't just plop down $4 or $5 grand for a liquor license and you're good.
They're seriously expensive.
Yes. So one of the big issues was you had to find a building you could buy. It's back there. I feel like couldn't be in too many different places, but most of the time they walk towards the kitchen. It's like, does that look like where the bathroom is?
Maybe you need another sign.
Yeah, I think we do. But anyway, so we ended up, we looked probably for about a year and a half, places, stumbled upon this place in the Highlands, which I find the Highlands to be very unique.
Oh, Highlands is very unique.
Especially back then when we came in. About this is late 2011 when we looked at it, or mid 2011, and we were able to make a deal with Danny Shields at Wyndham Sea. Bought the place and opened up mid-January of 2012. That was a little bit of an eye-opener to come from like Hoboken down here.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't very well received by some of the locals.
The locals are rough.
They are rough,
They
yes.
are rough. My family moved here in 1976, and I was not considered a local. Like, I was an out-of-towner growing up.
That's
so,
pretty crazy.
yeah, they do not take kindly to strangers around here. You really have to crack that really hard exterior.
Oh, yes,
Highlands,
definitely.
You know.
So
It was the bootlegger before.
it was the Sugar Shack, and before that, the bootleg.
The Sugar Shack. I forgot about the Sugar Shack.
Yes, I think a lot of people want to forget about the Sugar Shack. But you'd be surprised to this day how many people come in and are like, I remember the bootlegger, like, their fondest memories.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Well, we don't suck, but you give us a shot, maybe we'll be okay. And they're like,
Pickle.
It's just not the same. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
I mean,
Different
it's
time
not
in your
as
life.
like dark and seedy and named the bootlegger and
It's
like
a little rougher
Yeah.
around the edges.
Oh man, I remember I saw driving down Bay Ave, Twin Lakes Tavern got knocked down. My grandmother has a story. My family used to come here summer in the Highlands, Barbary Ave, epic shouts, and she has a lovely story that she would tell her kids and then her grandkids. And basically she got dosed. Somebody gave her LSD at the Twin Lights Tavern. She's like, I don't know what happened. I started falling down a big hole and all these things were popping out. I'm like, yeah, Grandma, somebody gave you some acid, but you handled it well. So, Highlands is rough. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But it has changed.
Yeah,
I will
definitely.
say since Sandy, and they've raised the houses, a lot of people were forced by insurance.
Oh, hell yeah.
Aaron reminds
I
me.
didn't do it.
Flood insurance, something great to have flood insurance, but and the town's changed, and it is, to me, it's unique. I mean, how many places can you live where you can walk to the beach in the morning, take a ferry to Manhattan in the afternoon, never get in a car, never have to get in a car, right?
Yeah.
And do the beach, Atlantic Ocean, and Manhattan.
Oh
the
man,
same day. That seems crazy to me that the town's not like flooded.
Yeah.
With people.
Yeah, it's cool too.
Sometimes
because
it is.
It's getting there because there's a lot of people. There's a mass exodus out of the city and the heavy urban areas right now. We've been writing a lot of insurance policies in Highlands and up on the hill in the Atlantic Highlands. People are getting out of the city, but in case they have to go back, they want to be on the ferry line.
Oh yeah.
The mayor
seeing
mentioned
a
to me
ton of
during the pandemic, during the first, I guess, 2.5, 3 months, I think 12 or 13 new people moved into that, bought places and moved into the
Wow.
house, which is kind of significant for a time, what was going on at the time and things like that. So to your point, that type of change.
And most of the houses have been lifted post Sandy. There's been if you drive down Bay Ave or Shore Drive, everything is way up in the air.
If you
for the most part.
if you take a boat on the Navasink too, it's like you see all like the houses look a lot nicer than I remember when I grew up. So like it looks a lot better. But when 9/11 happened too, a lot of people kind of saw, they're like, I don't want to be in the city, and people kind of saw the allure of living here. But it's also off the beaten path in a sense where you're not going to find a McDonald's on Bay Ave because there's no through traffic and that the amount of traffic they would need on 36 or like in Leonardo or somewhere, you're not going to see that amount of traffic in Highlands. So you're protected in that sense.
Sure.
But you got that you still got that towny mentality where do you know about Shorehenge when they built the monstrosity on where the rec or the community center is? Some company came in and convinced them they wanted to build a memorial for something, and it was basically a concrete company, and they wanted to come in and build, basically look at what we can do with concrete. And they built this and the town let it go through, and there was this big problem. Anyway, they didn't get all the permits, and they actually had to knock it down. So like, the town doesn't like it. I followed it because I love Highlands. I followed the whole story. They built this thing. I'll have to find pictures of it. It's so funny. They built this whole like big cube thing. It was ugly as shit, and then they had to knock the whole thing down because they didn't get the right permits. And that pretty much sums up, the ebb and flow of Highlands.
Oh, it does.
There's a lot of things you have to deal with, but people warm up eventually, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like the people in this town. I think they've been pretty good to us. Not everybody's given us a shot, but I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
I think it took them a while. They bucked evolution. They didn't want change. I mean, some of the hardcore townies.
Yeah.
But it's happening now with or without.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
You have no choice. I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at the other end of Highlands with the new marina.
That thing's crazy.
And One Willow over there. Shout out to Luke Ballerman. They're doing a great job. Things are good over there.
Yeah.
They're nice people. Great views. You know,
Yeah.
but that's a big change for down here.
Sure.
Oh man, used to have it's completely changing. I remember when I first moved back to the area, and they were really fighting to not have that bridge put in.
Yeah.
Logistically, it makes a lot of
I
sense.
can't even imagine that now.
Yeah, no, waiting. Oh my God, the traffic. You can't jump off this bridge. One person tried, and they're dead now. So don't jump off that bridge. You used to be able to jump off it. I jumped off the old one. It's pretty friggin' high and scary, but
That's
whatever.
awesome.
Yeah, it was good times. But don't jump off the new bridge. Do not jump off the new bridge. You will die. Seriously, you will die. There was the Careless Navigator. I loved the New England clam chowder over there. Was really good. That got knocked down. Doris and Ed's gone.
Yeah.
So you don't really have the same. It's different. Francesco's. I don't know. Is Francesco still down there, or did he sell it? Pizza place across from Welsh Farms, kind of by Twin Lights Tavern.
I don't think it's there.
I think they sold it. I'm not sure, but they had pretty good pizza. The pizza place across from there got busted for selling cocaine, so they didn't get to make it. I love Highlands. It's great. I used to play at the the Veterans Memorial Park right across the street. I used
Adam
to
and I
play.
are going to go take a seat.
Oh
You just
man,
keep
I am just
reminiscing
like
and just keep
it's like
talking.
an
Let's keep
Entenmann's
going.
commercial.
Keep going.
I love Highlands. The public beaches that people don't know about. People got mad when they published it in the Asbury Park Press because they're like secret beaches you need to know, and it's like, hey, asshole, don't tell people this secret for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to you don't have to pay anything. You can just go right on the beach in the lovely bay. Ignore all the plastic bags and whatnot, and you'll have a really good time, basically. So,
But it's less crowded.
it's way
A lot
less
less
crowded.
crowded, so.
You get the townies, you get random out of towners, you get certain people coming in, they don't know what's going on, and they just end up at the beach. So it's beautiful. Like you were saying, you could jump on a ferry, you could get to the city. You don't have to deal with the crazy BS of other towns like, traffic and yada, yada, yada. I remember getting, I could tell so many stories, but just getting hammered, finding a random bicycle and just taking that bicycle home, How long is it? It's like a couple miles. How long?
I think it's mile and a
Did
half.
you return it?
Of course I returned.
So that was the beginning of that bicycle ride sharing. Right?
Yeah, perfect.
Somebody
Somebody
You were ahead
saw
of your
that.
time.
Yeah.
You just started city
You
bikes.
just couldn't figure out how to implement
No, I just couldn't. I was too drunk to figure out how to monetize it. But I think that's part of the evolution of the town, and it's kind of baked into the town. I mean, if you go back in the day, this was run by British soldiers. They hung a dude down in Huddy Park. There used to be a beach. Now it's a park. They hung Huddy down there, and they're like, hey, he died here. Let's name the park after him. I'm pretty sure that's true. Check your Wikipedias. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm positive on that one.
It's a good story nonetheless.
Yeah, nonetheless.
I'll take it.
Anyway, so you move from Miami, which
Well, no, I came here from I came.
came from Hoboken.
Yeah, I lived in Hoboken. Now I live up in Northwest Jersey, but we've been here it's about 8.5 years here, and it's been it's been up and down and interesting.
What was your all these shenanigans are going on, pandemic, whatnot. People aren't believing it. I'm sure the citizens of Highlands were had pitchforks and stuff outside. But what were your first steps when you were kind of dealing with all this?
How the fuck are we going to survive?
As was everybody else.
Yeah.
Did you talk to Aaron? Did you call up Aaron and be like, what do I do?
Well, I mean, I did speak to him a little bit about what other people are doing because you want to understand what people are going to do. I think the thing is for me, I always thought it would take till June. I don't know why. Just I figured summer, whatever, a couple months to get open more than takeout and delivery.
Yeah.
I did think we'd probably be a little more indoors by then, but I think in so many words, he and some of the other governors are basically saying the air conditioning is a problem.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for that to end. Well, the circulation, the air conditioning, if you bring people in. I think he's able to get away with it enough to hopefully wait till September. And like I said to you earlier before we got on, the winter is going to be a challenge because I don't think they'll let us be open if we still are in a crisis mode. Now, if they have any kind of vaccine on the horizon, they can play that as if we're closing for a few months, but this will get us back.
Yeah.
But in any case, some of the steps. So to me, we've been traditionally a bar that's a restaurant, but more so a bar. That model is going to have to change a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's having to change now because you don't have the same bar crowd. You can't do the same. We've been a big music venue since almost the day we started, maybe sometime in the first year, where we do all ages shows with young kids, which is great.
Cool.
Joe Riggio, who's been great. He's a whiz, JV Archer Entertainment. Honestly, one of the best people to work with. Cares about the kids. He has 2 kids who play music. And then a lot of times we do, over 21 shows starting at 9:30, 10. That model has to change. And I don't know when that goes back. And I'm sure if any of you like music, it's like, when do you think the next time you're going to a show and everything's going to be normal?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in 2021, maybe?
I think I was talking to my friends about this and they thought I was insane as they usually do, but I was like, I think people are going to have to start implementing security checks at the door, temperature scanners, stuff like that. Certain things are going to have to be implemented now that weren't implemented, earlier. And it's going to really change, I think, how people kind of approach this stuff. If you scan somebody and then they're like 99.9, I don't know what you do with them. You stun gun them and you throw them in the back. I have no idea. But I think
every time I get scanned, it's like 97.1, 97.3, and I'm like, I thought it was 98.7. They're like, no,
so at least
fine.
you have like 4 degrees
Yeah.
before you have to worry about it.
I mean, I guess.
You're going to be sweating bullets before that hits 100.
Yeah,
100.1.
I guess, but it's every single time has been like low 97.
I think the air filtration, they'll have to figure something out. I think we talked about this on episodes in the past.
There's ways to put, air purification systems in the commercial setting to help clean the air.
Well, we have one of them back there. We have one of our customers bought us that.
Oh,
nice.
wow.
He did.
See, people do care.
Oh, they have been
Chubby
great.
Pickle.
They've been great, honestly.
So it's like you're bartering for beer. Whoa, what a segue. Holy moly.
So we'll talk a little about barter saves.
That sounds good.
Great segue.
Ming loves
boom.
it.
I just turned a shot of
What is Barter Saves?
So Barter Saves is a network of businesses in Monmouth County, started by George and Renee Ackerman. And honestly, it is a restaurant. Some of the things we've been able to do during the pandemic, we would not be able to do, namely the floor. Not that anybody can see it, and not that most people care about the floor at a restaurant, but
You should.
you should.
It's a big deal.
Yes.
Or I should say a big
It's
deal.
aesthetic.
Holy, somebody give me another drink. I'm on fire right now.
Yeah. And so they have a network of vendors and businesses that you can share services and not have to pay up front. And that's helpful because a lot of times you get a line of credit,
Yeah.
interest free. And in times like this, when you don't have the money to do it, but you sort of have the time to do it because nobody's in here, and it's really the only time you can take your time to improve your product. We were able to get the floors done. We were able to do some hood cleaning, all on barter.
It's creative.
Very creative.
Were you doing this? I mean, obviously you were part of it before. But
Actually, we had just signed up, I think, in early March.
Oh.
Just because one of our good friends up the street, TST, he told me, "Hey, Adam, you got to."
Shit. Charlie called me today. Sorry, dude. I'll call you
Charlie,
back.
yes, Charlie, and he said, "You got to sign up. It's great. Like, bought my wife this, I got my wife that, so you can use it for personal or they have jewelers, you name it, it's on there. Lawyers, vendors.
How do you get to be? What do you do?
You have to have a business. Now, the one thing is the insurance business just doesn't fit the model because there's not much.
He tried.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of the few that don't. But a lot of other businesses you share services.
Right.
I mean, I've talked to some people who've had pools installed, their roof done because they do enough barter business. And one of the main benefits is that you're getting new business. That you wouldn't have. Now you're getting it on barter and you have to use those dollars for certain things, but you wouldn't have that business. It's a marketing tool you would never get.
We gotta get these guys on here.
Yeah, they're actually really, really fun.
We've got him, but we can definitely.
We
can definitely take it. We can take it next time.
However, George and Renee, I'm just one of their clients. I try to advocate for them, but George and Renee are great people.
Ming, have you worked with them?
Just real quick, we are proud Barter Saves members. So are
There
you
you go.
telling me that I can barter for like 100 beers here at the Chubby
with
Pickle?
a podcast.
Holy crap! Yeah, it's a great system.
You know George?
I know
Really
George and
sell it,
Renee.
man. Really sell it.
They do a weekly podcast called
They do.
G Money and the Godmother, proudly recorded at a shared universe. And wow, okay,
It sounds like it's going to come
We're
weekly
making
here.
connections, people.
it's
This
going
is
to be
what Total
amazing.
Local's all about.
But you know what? I'll tell you, in all seriousness, during this time, to get something like Aaron knows, the floor, I've tried to redo it in certain ways. You have a small window of time that you can close, maybe a day. If you do close longer, you're losing money. So to be able to do this and not have to outlay the cash, like two worlds colliding that you needed to collide at that time.
So do you think that too, like, because it's a network of people that kind of know each other, there's like a level of trust that's involved?
Well, they're the linchpin. So
Yeah.
So
the dude that did the floors, you kind of trust him because of them?
Well, like anything else, it's not like every business, is going to be good. We actually, Tina, who did the floor, she did a good job.
Shout out.
Yes, she did a good job. She was real professional. We had good communication. They do look like anything else. They do monitor their clients, and if people aren't performing the way they should,
Boo.
In fact, the hood cleaning person, he ended up coming through and doing a fine job, but he was a little, a little shaky at first to work with. And George went and talked to him, and said, "Look, if you're part of the network, this is how you have to, work." Because some people, I don't think they quite get it. You're not getting this business without it. Now, maybe you can't get the dollar in,
Right.
but you can spend the dollar in a lot of places, and I mean a lot.
Yeah.
If your kid needs braces or you need braces, you can get braces. Like, it's that many things.
Wow.
So maybe Aaron should open another business that he can do this, and then
A
if his
vodka
kids
business,
need braces, there you go. Oh.
He's coming up with ideas. We'll have to go back to the Long Branch Distillery on that one.
Well, Ming's a fan.
Yeah.
He's a fan.
We're all a fan. I'm a
I
fan.
can't
now.
wait to
I
come
wanna
and
go.
drink at the next Barter Saves podcast here live at the Chubby Pickle next week.
I've never thought I could trade podcasting for amazing chicken fingers and like 100 Bud Lights. So,
Well,
So let's talk about the
Yes.
food here at the Chubby
Yeah,
Pickle,
what's going
because
on?
honestly, the food is awesome.
yeah.
Well, we're working on expanding some things and trying to, like I said, so the people work hard in the kitchen. We're trying to expand our menu. We've sort of sized it down a little because of what's going on.
You got to keep it simple.
Well, we also only have about 30 to 40 spots outside, depending on what's going on, which obviously is limiting. I'm not complaining. It is what it is. This is the world we live in. So we've sort of limited the menu a little bit, but we have ideas for how we want to approach
The next phase.
the next phase of opening up. Because, again, like I said, I don't know what the future of bars looks like. I'm sure at some point we get back to normal. People go out to bars. But who knows? There's got to be some percentage that start telling themselves they're comfortable at home. They've changed their model of how they consume alcohol. So I think it becomes even more paramount to focus on the food. And, that's been like a daily thought that we've had.
What's the end of the night or before the kitchen closes? People get a couple drinks in them. What's the thing where they're like, "This is what I need to eat right
Probably frickles or wings.
now"? Frickles.
Fried pickles.
Ah, I get it.
You want some? We'll get some.
Is the
Yeah.
kitchen open?
I want some frickles
Matt,
and wings.
You get us some frickles and wings?
And wings.
Buffalo? Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Some tater tots?
You want tater tots? You want tater tots?
Yeah, sure.
We're going to do it. Might as well do it.
Gotta have some tots.
When it comes back.
So staff is pretty good. Matt is on his game. He's on point.
Matt's been there about 3 or 4 years. Yeah, he's good. The staff's pretty good. Yeah.
Uh-huh. How's that been? Like when this was all going on initially, you were just
For the
saying.
wings, guys, what kind of buffalo sauce? You want standard up, Thai chili, chubby sauce?
What do people usually?
Everybody really loves the standard buffalo.
I'll
But
do
if
the
you want to
standard.
take a whack at we're at the Chubby Pickle. You want to take a whack at the chubby sauce? It's pretty good too.
What's the chubby
It's like we
sauce?
mustard with you can. I'll go buffalo.
You can do 6 and 6.
And the frickle order we're still waiting on. It's actually
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
take a little bit.
We're waiting on them,
I'll
but we
give you
sold out,
2
so-
orders of wings.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
bring it
that's
out.
fine.
Whatever. They eat them. They
And
eat
some
them.
tots. Some tater tots.
Some tater tots.
I-
Ming,
I
anything?
go
Ming?
with
What do you want?
that
You'll
sounds
pick-
like a lot.
you'll
I'll
pick?
grab off yours.
My wife just texted me a dinner order, so we'll get more in a little bit.
He
Epic
hasn't.
shouts. That's great. So like they were, you were staying in touch with everybody, letting them know what's going on.
Yeah, it was. I mean, look, when you're doing takeout and delivery, you really weren't a takeout and delivery place, let alone, a lot of your sales were driven more by alcohol. Luckily, the town was pretty good. People were ordering; they were trying to do
That's
whatever
cool.
they could.
See?
Obviously, it gets boring for all of us to just order out all the time. But I would say people, they kept us afloat because you're worried. I mean,
great.
what are you going to do? You don't. The last thing you want to do is go out of business because of this.
See?
And I feel terrible for the people who are teetering. And it's not as if we're not teetering, but I think for the moment it looks like we'll be okay. I can't tell you what the future brings.
Yeah, exactly.
But it gets like if your mind starts racing with what's going to happen with like commercial real estate in New York. Like I have friends who have restaurants in New York or bars. I mean, what are you going to do with the rent that's $30,000?
Hopefully
Adam doesn't know his insurance bill is coming.
I do actually.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
Okay, I guess we got to talk about that. In the
But
next
we're
week
not
or two.
definitely not right now. Definitely not.
That's private.
We'll keep that off the air, but
off air
yes.
conversation.
Yes.
There's some good changes.
I'm
coming.
smiling
We're
right
gonna
now.
be
Why does he
okay.
want to bring me down?
Yeah. I mean,
When Aaron calls you, it's not
Damn
fun.
That's not true.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's not true.
Aaron, I can have a little fun with you today.
a little bit. He has to take it off when
I'm
he's
a
on
really
air.
good guy. Buying
Yeah, he
insurance
is.
for me.
He
Life
is.
is good.
He's actually his customer
Um,
service is second to none. And doesn't
I have
matter
a
what the
great
business
staff
is.
that's back in the office
They are.
working. Thank you guys. You guys are all doing a bang up job working from home still.
That's the new
and-
model,
and it's
right?
all
Yeah.
good.
Do you know?
So
like,
I definitely shared this before, but we made an attempt to come back to the office to bring everybody back in full time, and the anxiety level of working indoors full time was just a little bit too much. It was just the comfort level wasn't there of being back together in the office. So everybody went back home. Everybody's still doing a good job, and we're going to continue to monitor and evaluate and see what's going on for the future. But for right now,
is the production still there?
everything is good. We're producing. The real estate market is helping us because people are just buying homes and buildings, and things are great
wild.
with
Must be
respect
nice.
to real estate. And even in the higher end of the $2 to $5 million range is moving more than it's moved in the last 20 years, and I've only been in insurance for 11. But yeah, so things are good on that end, but on the business end, insurance is somewhat shaky as businesses are continuing to evolve and change, and we need to rate businesses. Restaurants are a big factor in that. We rate everything differently because your business has evolved. More takeout, less late night. You're not staying open till 2 a.m, are you? Right?
Maybe once a week we get pushed close to 2, but we used to do it as a religion. Like
Right.
there was no closing early unless it was weather related.
So those issues of the cops
Yeah.
being called at 2:30 for a noise ordinance are not there, and there's not the fights, things that happen after midnight, as they say. Nothing good happens after midnight. My dad would always say that, and then then I'd have
that
to
thing
call
started.
him.
Nothing good happens after 4 a.m. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. As you get older, it's like nothing good happens after
midnight.
9 p.m.
It's like I tell my kids, nothing good happens after 8 p.m. It's time to go to bed. But
Yeah, and then you'll
But,
change it to
things keep evolving, and Adam and I have been having conversations about flood insurance
Oh
for
man.
5 years,
Oh.
right? How long have we've been working together for 5 years?
It's got to be longer than that.
Maybe longer than that, which is great.
I
I
think he came
appreciate
the
his
year
loyalty,
after.
and he keeps beating me up every year. But we keep doing what we need to do to maintain
Highlands
a
flood,
positive
guys.
relationship. But we are in the lowlands of the Highlands.
That's
It is wet down here.
It is.
However, Chubby Pickle is
Wet
kind
and
of
salty.
on top of the. We're getting to the hill over here, so we're a little bit up.
Well, actually, when Sandy
and
came,
this painted floor, just water comes in, water goes out.
well,
right?
when Sandy came, so I mean, it was 8 months after we opened. I'm sitting in my
Jeez.
apartment in Hoboken. I'm like, well, that's the end of the bar. I mean,
the
we're
whole
in the
building
Highlands.
washed away.
But the truth is, we only got about an inch of water, and it was out by the morning.
Oh wow.
While places literally
Yeah.
quarter of a mile, an eighth of a mile, were 6 feet flooded.
Right.
So then I went there and I said, I know this is a side story. I said, why do we have to pay this much in flood insurance if it doesn't really flood?
You just wait.
Now, we do this
Wait.
every year. Now,
Every year.
I will say this. He found us a great deal. We have flood insurance that we're happy with. Still don't want to have flood insurance or pay for it, but it
Get
is
it.
what it is. And he did a great job, and I'm glad that he reduced the amount.
We found a product. We write a lot of private flood insurance, and probably 3 years ago, I'm like, Adam, I hope you're sitting down because I'm going to save you $6,000 a year, and we did just that, and I'm like, he's like, I'm gonna tell everybody in Highlands, and then we started quoting around, and I'm like, I called don't tell anybody, because nobody else on the other side of town is getting the same deal that yeah, you know, and since then we've brought it more private markets. We do a lot more flood insurance with business up the coast right now. Florida is on moratorium, and hopefully by Monday or Tuesday it goes out to sea and we don't get shut down as well. But there's a storm coming up the Florida coast. Sorry to wreck every week.
Well, as long as it's on Monday, I can live with it.
Yeah.
It should be Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Oh, fine.
So we're fine.
Yeah.
No big deal, right?
MBD.
No big deal unless you have outdoor dining only.
Yeah.
2 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Dinner time, like people eating outside, like serving
Yeah.
my chicken wing is wet.
Wet. I mean, the monsoon. Wind.
So I mean,
Gust.
that's good though. It's good that you. As far as the flooding and as far as all that stuff.
Then we understood like the area a little bit better.
It's true.
So
Very true.
we have what our objectives are. It's just going to be challenging since there is no plan federally or statewide about how we get to whatever the old normal was.
Yeah.
You are, day to day, week to week. You're just looking.
The new normal. I'm hoping.
I hope it's not the new normal.
The new normal is pivoting daily.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
new. It's not going. There's. I think. I have hope. I'm a reluctant optimist. I'm mostly a realist. Work